I was surrounded by the most beautiful golden light I had ever seen. It was rich, warm, and alive. It wasn't shining on me. It was around me, within me. The edges glowed with soft orange hues, and I felt completely safe. My first thought was almost humorous. How did they do this in a hospital room? Welcome to Let's Lift the Veil. What you are about to hear is not an ordinary story. It is the account of a woman who, after a life-threatening car accident, crossed the threshold between life and something far greater. An experience where time no longer exists, where consciousness expands, where love becomes something tangible, powerful, and infinite. If you are drawn to near-death experiences, spiritual journeys, or questions about what lies beyond this world, this story may resonate deeply with you. Before we begin, take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and activate the notifications bell. It helps these stories reach those who may need them the most. Now close your eyes, breathe in, and let's lift the veil together. I still remember that day with an unsettling clarity. November 18, 2008. The date that divided my life into two parts, a before and an after. I had been driving home from a 2-day shopping trip, my dog sitting beside me, the road stretching out ahead like any other ordinary day. There was nothing special about the morning, no premonition, no sense of danger. And yet within seconds, everything changed. The accident came violently. The car rolled, metal screamed, glass shattered. The world flipped upside down, literally. When the car finally came to rest, I was suspended in silence, disoriented, upside down, my heart pounding so loudly I could hear it in my ears. I didn't even realize I was injured. My first and only thought was my dog. I screamed his name in terror, with panic flooding my body. I could hear him scrambling over broken glass, then the sound of his paws hitting pavement as he ran. That fear, the fear of losing him, overwhelmed everything else. I didn't care about my body, the pain, or the wreckage. I only wanted to get out, to find him, to make sure he was safe. When the paramedics arrived, I begged them to let me go. I told them I'd go to the hospital after. I just needed to find my dog. They wouldn't listen. They strapped me down and lifted me into the ambulance. I didn't know then how close I was to dying. I only knew that panic was consuming me. As the ambulance doors closed, I stared up at the harsh white lights above me. My heart was racing out of control, and in that moment, without thinking, without planning, I cried out to God. Not in prayer as I had ever known it, more like a desperate plea from the deepest part of my being. I thought, if you exist, if you created my dog, please protect him. Please don't let him die alone out there. And then something extraordinary happened. The light above me changed. It was no longer just a light. It descended slowly, gently, moving down over my face into my body. As it moved through me, it became a sensation, not heat, not touch, but something deeper. Peace, absolute peace. I felt the panic being pushed out of me, as if the fear were physically leaving my body through my feet. I watched it go, slipping out through the open door at the back of the ambulance, dissolving into the soft blue of the sky. The door closed. I heard it latch. Someone banged on the outside to signal the driver. And in that exact moment I knew. Everything was okay. My dog was okay. I was okay. All was well. A calm settled over me that I had never known before. I wasn't praying. I wasn't thinking. I was simply aware. A knowing filled me that I was being taken care of, that there was nothing I needed to do. Just observe, just be. From there, time lost meaning. I remember faces leaning over me in the emergency room, voices coming and going, but none of it felt urgent. I knew I was fading in and out of consciousness, yet I wasn't afraid. When the doctors told me I would be placed into a medically induced coma because my lungs were bleeding, I accepted it calmly. And then everything changed. When I opened my eyes, I realized I no longer had eyes. I was no longer in my body. I was surrounded by the most beautiful golden light I had ever seen. It was rich, warm, and alive. It wasn't shining on me, it was around me, within me. The edges glowed with soft orange hues, and I felt completely safe. My first thought was almost humorous. How did they do this in a hospital room? But then I realized something extraordinary. I had no body, yet I was more aware than I had ever been in my life. I could perceive in every direction at once. I could see, feel, understand without effort. There was no fear, no confusion, just clarity. Then the colors came. They weren't colors as we know them. They were alive, moving, dimensional. They flowed through me and around me as sound and light merged into something impossible to describe. Each color carried emotion, knowledge, and memory. When they passed through me, I didn't just see them. I became them. The music was unlike anything on earth. It wasn't sound in the traditional sense. It was vibration, harmony, intelligence. Each tone felt as though it carried meaning, as if the universe itself was communicating through resonance. Time no longer existed. I could not tell if I had been there for seconds or centuries. It didn't matter because everything existed in a perfect eternal now. At one point, I wondered about the color white. I couldn't see it among the spectrum around me, and without words I understood. It was above me, beyond, infinite, not meant for me to experience fully yet, but I could feel its presence, vast and loving beyond comprehension. Whenever a thought began to form, a question or a curiosity, it was gently dissolved by something that felt like a loving hand brushing against my soul. A silent message came with it. Just be. And for the first time in my life I understood what that meant. To simply exist, to be aware without fear, to be held without condition. In that space I understood love in a way I never had before. Not human love, not emotional attachment, but pure, unconditional love, the kind that creates worlds, the kind that holds everything together. I understood God, not as a figure or a being, but as presence, as unity, as the source of all that is. And I knew without doubt that I was part of it. Then I understood something else, something about creation. I realized I could create with thought alone. Visions formed around me as soon as I imagined them. I understood the limitless creative potential within consciousness. I understood what it meant to be both individual and infinite at the same time. And I did not want to leave. When the moment came to return, I resisted. I felt myself being pulled back as if a door were closing. I wanted to stay. I wanted to remain in that love forever. But suddenly I was back. I opened my eyes to see my family around me, their faces filled with concern. I was confused, not because I didn't recognize them, but because I had forgotten them completely while I was gone. In that place, there had been no past, no relationships, no obligations. Only being. It took time to accept being human again. Even after waking, the experiences continued. One night in my hospital room, I watched my entire life unfold across the wall, not just mine, but the interconnected lives of everyone I had ever known. I saw how every moment, every choice, every interaction wove together into something far greater than I had ever imagined, and again peace washed over me. The doctors were stunned by my recovery. My lungs had been severely damaged. They expected months of hospitalization. I was discharged in 18 days. I reunited with my dog. He was fine and went back with me. But the experience didn't end there. A few days after returning home, I fell into a deep sleep and found myself once again somewhere else, in a place bathed in deep indigo blue. Beings were there, caretakers of some kind. I felt no fear. I was told without words that something was being given to me. I watched as light entered my body, with warmth, love, and understanding. I felt something change inside me, something fundamental. And then I woke up, tears streaming down my face, overwhelmed by love for myself and for existence itself. I had died. And I had been reborn. My life, behind the veil. After that experience, nothing in my life was ever the same. Not in a dramatic, visible way, but in a deep, quiet, irreversible way. When I returned to the world, I carried something with me that cannot be explained with words. A knowing, a softness, a heightened awareness of others. I could feel people differently. I can feel their emotions, their fears, their light. I became aware of what I now call the heart light in others. A kind of inner glow that reveals who they truly are beneath their masks. Some people shine brightly without knowing it. Others are dimmed by pain, fear, or anger. But everyone carries that light. My relationship with spirituality changed completely. I no longer felt drawn to religion as a system or structure. I understood that God was not something to be searched for, but something to be experienced. Something already within us. Something we are part of. I no longer feared death. In fact, death lost all meaning as an ending. I knew with certainty that consciousness continues, that love continues, that what we are does not end with the body. I also noticed changes in how people responded to me. Some felt comforted, drawn to talk. Others were uncomfortable, even resistant. I learned quickly that not everyone is ready to hear these things, and that's okay. I learned discernment, when to speak, when to stay silent. I also discovered gifts I hadn't had before. A deeper intuition, an ability to sense emotional truths, a heightened compassion that sometimes feels overwhelming. I don't claim to have answers, only awareness. What surprised me most was this. The more I tried to hold on to the experience, the more it faded. But the more I let go, the more it returned in quiet moments, in stillness, in love, in presence. The experience taught me that life is not about achieving or proving anything. It's about learning to love, truly love, the way we are loved beyond this world. I don't claim to understand everything I saw. I don't try to explain it away. I simply live differently now, more gently, more openly, more gratefully. And if there is one thing I know for certain, it is this. What awaits us is not fear, it's not judgment, it's not emptiness. It's love. It's vast, it's intelligent, it's eternal. And one day, when the time is right, we will all remember it again. Thank you for listening to this near-death experience. What you have just heard is more than a NDE. It is a story of transformation, of awareness, of what it truly means to live. After such an experience, life is never seen the same way again. Fear fades, compassion deepens, and a quiet understanding takes root. If this testimony moved you, if it resonated within you, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who might need to hear it today. You never know how far a single story can travel, or whose life it may touch. Remember, sometimes what we call the end is only the beginning. For more first-hand accounts, watch the next episode on the following screen. New narratives drop regularly. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss one. Let's keep lifting the veil, one episode at a time. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. See you soon for another journey beyond the veil.